standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars align. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me.
Hey, guys. Hope everybody's doing good. We're going to just chit chat for a minute and see if many people are going to come in. But as the title says, we're going to talk Sami Smith. What age is she? Is she 18? Is she 24? Is she 41? Because let me tell you something. I've been coming across some information that has got me scratching my head. I'm telling y'all, this is the same Sami Smith, but okay. Hello, Discovering the Truth. Single mom. Hello, Susan. Jenny. How are you guys doing? Does anybody put a 1 up there if you guys remember early on in the investigation, there was talk about Sami Smith being older than 18 and her having a twin brother. Does anybody remember that? Because I remember it. Hello, Bonnie Bailey. Hello, Shalima. I remember that. Yes, thank you, Shalima. Okay, well, Discovering the Truth did some investigating for me. She's been doing some digging. She's been busy, let me tell you. And she found on a public website where it talks about, now this is the people, this is Cindy, Babby Smith, and James Edward Smith, their mom and dad, who own Sierra Tahoe Investigations. They're both attorneys. You know, they've got the same address, all of it, right? Only thing is, when she sent me the information, you have to always go back and recheck. I know you've been saying it from the beginning, hon. You always go back yourself and recheck, right? So I took the tools that I have at my disposal and I started checking into Sami Smith and Cindy Smith and James Smith. And when I looked for Sami Smith, guess what popped up? Now, wait a minute. Let me back up. When Discovering looked her up, it shows that she was born in 1989. And that their other child, Mr. Michael Tanner Smith, was also born in June 1989, which makes both of them, and they both show up as 24 years old, right? Well, you got to think, Cindy's 62? And James Edward Smith, her husband, the two officers that are in charge of Sierra Tahoe Investigations, they're a little bit old to be having 18-year-olds or 24-year-olds, are they not? I mean, I know folks have kids in their older years, but so when I started looking up for Sami Smith, I found a Samantha Brooks Smith, and it says she was born in 1981 with no brothers and sisters. Same address, same parents, who own the same company, live in the same places. Everything is identical, except for the Sammy Brooks Smith that I found was born in 1981. And the same other two kids were born in 1998. I believe it's 98. Could this be they had a daughter named Sami Smith, who, by the way, is a psychologist, guys, and she's worked all over the place, but she has all kinds of degrees. She's a psychiatrist. Evidently, right now, she's working as a physician's assistant, but she maybe had a set of twins herself and named her daughter after herself. I mean, we do know that happens. Look at Candace Hare, Candace Bly, Candace Floden, you know. So is that a possibility? Could they have took their grandchildren in and started raising them? Okay, I asked the question, and before we go on, Sami Smith, sus. Yes, she's very sus. But I mean, is that a possibility, guys? Hello, Stitchin. Glad to see you here, hon. Could it be possible that their actual daughter, Samantha Brooks Smith, had a set of twins, and then her parents took them in to raise them? And I know that doesn't have anything to do with Kiely Rodni's case. I'm so sick of hearing that, guys. But it does, if you think about it. For one, because if it's the Sami Smith that we have been looking at in the videos, if that's true, and she was born in 1998, that makes her 24 years old, and it also makes her legal age to buy alcohol. And it would also, if you think about it back, whether it's true or whether it isn't, but if you think back where Ryan Upchurch was talking about that guy Ronnie, and that guy Ronnie says that his two cousins went to that party and they were 24 and 23. Would it be so odd for a 24-year-old to have been at that party? Now, she did say in her interviews she's been going to those parties for years. Years, guys. If you're 18, how have you been attending those types of parties for years? Yeah, I believe Sammy was jealous of Kiely. Hello, wicked bitch. I have legally adopted my grandkids. I'm 54 and I have a 14 and 12-year-old. And a lot of parents adopt their grandkids. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that older people can't have kids, because my mother was 42 years old when she had me. But I'm just saying it's not that common nowadays. And for that couple to be 75 and 62, you really think they're going to have a 20-something-year-old or an 18-year-old? Where it's a little bit more feasible for them to have had a daughter who would now be 41, who would have had children at the age of 20. And her brother's not being mentioned at all. The party could have something to do with Kiely, which explains why Sammy's so involved, because she's protecting her brother. That's a possibility too, yes, and I'm sorry I hadn't brought that up yet. I'm still off on this kick about where did this 41-year-old Samantha Brooks Smith come in at, who has the same exact mother and father. I mean, yes, I know websites and stuff make mistakes, but they don't make a 20-year mistake. Hello, Dana Kay. How are you tonight, hon? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them adopting their grandkids. I'm just trying to figure out how old is Sammy. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stand somebody who will lie. I just can't. And if anybody out there knows of any other place that has reliable information about how old Sammy is, I'm talking law enforcement, some legal place, FBI, somebody like that. Because as far as the best of my knowledge, the only place that her age has ever actually truly been said, this is how old I am, is when Tony Dodge asked her during the interview, you are 18, right? And she says yes. And so when it was all being talked about before, it just sort of fizzled away after that. Also, the older you get, a woman produces less eggs. So how could a person that old produce twins, right? You're doing better. That's good. That's real good, honey. I'm glad. So what do you guys think? Do you think this Samantha Brooks Smith could be Cindy and James's actual daughter, biological daughter, and then her have the set of twins, and then the grandparents adopt, take care of, foster, whatever you want to call it? And why isn't Michael Tanner Smith being talked about? That is Sammy's twin. Where's he at? Where does he fit into all this? Hello, Versi. How are you, sweetheart? I mean, why hasn't Michael's name been brought out? Why isn't there, I mean, does he not live with Sammy and Cindy and James? Women are born with all their eggs, and it's possible for an older woman to have twins. It still can happen despite a woman's age. It can, but okay, the point being is there are records out there showing that there is a woman, supposedly their child, who is 41 years old. And there's also two children by the name of Samantha Smith and Michael Tanner Smith who are supposed to be their children too. You don't have one child and then 20 years later have more and name them the same thing. Right, not saying that it's impossible, but it is rare. It is. But the more people we can get digging into this, the better, the sooner we can find it. I mean, has anybody heard how old, from a legitimate source, how old Sammy Smith is supposed to be? Because, I mean, to me, if you look at them, you look at her beside any one of those other kids, and she does look considerably older. I can't help it. She does. Yeah, and all of them have the same address. Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. The 41-year-old Smith, Samantha Smith, is like 2 or 3 houses up from the other set. Hers is like 1145 or 0, and theirs is 1122 5. Same street. And like I said, the tools that I used says this is her mother and father who own the Sierra Tahoe business. You haven't heard it anywhere? Well, I think it's something we need to start digging into. We need to find out how old she really is. Something is not right about that at all, and I'm going to start digging, and I have tried not to do it that in this case, but I'm curious now. Exactly. I mean, there's just certain things that pop up that make you wonder. They say that you are more likely to have twins over 30. Well, you're welcome, single mom. I just think it's odd for everybody to have the same dang parents and everybody's different ages. I mean, we know we have the right parents. James Edward Smith and Cindy Babby Smith, whatever her middle name is. And it's agreed that they have a daughter by the name of Samantha Smith. Well, technically it's Samantha Brooks Smith, born 1981. We also have a Samantha Smith, born 1998, and a Michael Tanner Smith, born 1998. It is weird. It is very weird. But nobody has heard any official age on Sammy Smith other than her saying that or agreeing that she was 18 to Mr. Tony Dodge. I don't know if y'all heard. Did anybody watch Voices Behind the Wall tonight or this evening? Allegedly, can't say that it's positive, but allegedly, he sort of got a sketchy track record right there. Yes, thank you, Nana, because when I would mention in chats about Sammy's age and her twin brother, people was telling me I was crazy and didn't know what I was talking about. I feel better now, LOL. Well, you are to feel better, honey, because, we've proved it. We both have proved it. So, a Sammy Smith in her 40s may have had twins then. Yes. I can't think of any other way that they would all have the same parents unless this first Sammy Smith had a set of twins who were then later adopted by her parents or just taken in by her parents and raised. Hey, Carrie. Hello, Nana. I'm so sad. I'm missing your lives. I'm working 2 shifts, 7 days a week. The money is awesome, but it's just too much. But anyway, I will be popping in and out as much as I can. Well, honey, you're welcome anytime. That's good. I'm glad you're listening, sweetheart. That's right. You go, girl. Discovering the truth. You know what you're doing. And you ain't going to be called crazy over here. Of course, everybody calls me crazy anyway, so. I just hope you guys stick with me. Even if I am as loony as a bird. Hello, Selena Dixon. So, Miss Selena, what do you think about that? The discovery of a 40-year-old Sami Smith, who is the daughter of Cindy and James. You think it could be her kids? Hello, Ramblin' Rome. I know this was a quick pop-up, guys. Sorry about that. No fair warning or nothing. But I started making a video about this, but then the more I dug, you're kind of lost. Okay. Just to recap. Recap. Let me recap, okay? Hi, Auntie M. Okay. Discovering the Truth had been digging, trying to find out about Sami Smith. You know, way back when the case first began, people were talking about how old she was and that she was over 18. And then there was something brought up about her having a twin brother. And then once Tony Dodge did the interview with her and she agreed with him that she was only 18, everything sort of just died down and everybody forgot all about it. Well, Discovering the Truth had it, you know, like a dog with a bone and wouldn't give it up. And she kept digging. And she found information on a public free site that said that Cindy Smith and James Smith, who own the Sierra Tahoe Investigations, have two children, Sami Smith and Michael Tanner Smith, and they were both born June 1998, which would mean they're twins, obviously. It would also mean they are 24 years old. Now, getting past the fact that, yes, Sammy would be old enough to buy alcoholic beverages without it being illegal. Yeah, the dad is actually 74, I believe, and the mom is 62. So they're a little bit older, right? When I went back, after Discovering sent me the information that she had, I started checking myself just to double check, not to say I didn't believe her, but you always are supposed to double check yourself. I started double checking, and the Sammy Brooks Smith that I found, whose mother was Cindy and whose father was James, and they owned the Sierra Tahoe Investigations, was born in 1981. She is 41 years old. And she lives on the same street as her parents, just a different address. Actually, her addresses are listed at the other address and also her mom and dad's address. So I'm wondering, did they have their daughter and then she later had a set of twins and then the grandparents actually adopted the twins? Is that why that Sami Smith is 18, 24, whichever, and her parents are 60 and 70 something? Could that actually be her biological grandparents? And if so, is she really 24 years old and legally able to buy alcoholic beverages for that party? Keep in mind that in her interview, she said she had been going to those parties for years, and no 18-year-old would be going to those types of parties for years. And then we also have to remember that Ronnie said his cousins, who were 23 and 24, also went to that party. Remember when Sammy said in the first interview that she hung out with Kiely with the night of the party, drank from the same cup, yada yada? I remember that. We can't find much out about her brother, the Michael Tanner. We can't find out much about him at all. That's what I'm wondering. Why isn't he being brought up? Why isn't he being talked about? Wouldn't you have thought that if Sammy was at the party, that her twin brother would have been at the party also? I thought that first video that came out when the police were pulling the car out of the lake, that the policewoman with her back to the camera looked like Sammy to me. Well, the Sammy that's 41 is a licensed, that's her career. She is a psychiatrist. She's got degrees in all kinds of shit. Trust me. They own 3 different vehicles. They own a Prius, a Subaru Outback, and what was the other one? A Hyundai. and the registration shows to be at her mom and dad's house. Someone else said a few weeks ago that Sammy is around 21, 22 years old. Exactly. And they were also talking about her twin brother. I remember that. You seen a video? Seen a video of him on a boat with the parents somewhere, right? Now, I'm just saying, okay, here we go. Very possible my grandma adopted me. Maybe that's why she got a criminal attorney. Maybe. Her mom is a lawyer. They're possibly trying to cover up her true age so she won't be charged with contributing to a minor. She's admitted they drank from the same cup, right? Sammy said they went in the woods and peed together. Sammy then said that Kiely took off her belt. Why did Sammy make a point of saying this? then the girl, the tow truck driver said that the girl asked if, right, about the, can you fasten the seatbelt to your real belt? Yeah, I know. That stuck out to me too. Yeah, where's Kiely's belt? Hey, and that could be, listen, I was watching a thing today where Check It TV was saying everything that they found, they showed pictures of. But they didn't do, basically, there was something there that we weren't seeing, even though it was pictured. Obviously, it wasn't just out there for us to understand. Sorry guys, I'm coughing. So could they have found like Kiely's belt and nobody's thinking nothing about it? I mean, he said there's something there that he said everything he found was they videoed, they took pictures of, but there's one piece that they're not allowed to let out yet. And I'm wondering what that is. Okay, if the belt is still in the woods, that proves Kiely was at the party. Well, honey, I didn't think anybody was saying that she wasn't at the party. She got the attorney because 24 bought alcohol, maybe involved with Kiely, right? Cotton candy boobs. Well, hello. Glad to see you here. Your name is very familiar. He found a package with a shipping address. I wonder if that is and something was in that box. Right. I'm wondering if that, like I said, though, I'm wondering if it's not the belt or something. And did you all see that it looked like an ID laying there? And I meant to screenshot that and zoom in on it. Has anybody bothered doing that to see who, if that is actually a ID or a driver's license and whose it might be? I've never taken my belt off to go pee either, honey. Couldn't understand why you would. People are saying that Kiely might have been at a different party. After they flipped the car over, everything gushed out except the pressure busted out even another window. She was strapped in the back. Well, I don't know how reliable it is, the information, but, and I forget who it was even, but I posted his theory on my community tab. That guy that I posted, he says, and he sounded like it was a matter of a fact, like he knew this for a fact. So I don't know if it is true or not. But he says that she was in a bikini when she was found and it was ripped, like she had been assaulted. He's so weird to me. I actually just made a video about him. About who? Tony? Hello, Linda. Hello, Cindy. Glad to see you guys here. Kuma, she was supposedly at a Boca party. Oh, check it. Well, I have to admit that I thought it was a little strange that he just popped up out of nowhere. And guys, y'all know my brain goes 90 miles an hour. I'm suspicious of everybody. And I'm not saying this is alleged, okay? I am not saying anything bad about this man. I'm just saying this is what went through my mind when he first came out with, could he have had that stuff and put it out there? Because everybody, before he found it, everybody was looking in those windows. And I forget who it was saying, oh, well, we see a laptop charger here. Oh, it was Dolly Vision. We see the laptop charger, but where's the laptop in the picture before the car was ever pulled out? So, I mean, that did go through my mind. Not saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying that went through my mind. I personally would like to know more about the tow truck guy, right? I don't understand if they have that video from his truck, why something hasn't been done or said yet. How can someone not know how to figure out how to put a seatbelt through a belt? Well, you're right, but what would be the purpose in that? Unless it was to literally hold somebody down. The commenter or fan, something or other, said he knows for a fact that Kylie was in a bikini and the bottom was torn and up around her waist. That's probably who I'm talking about. Yeah. Thank you, Versi, so very much, sweetheart. That, trust me, every little bit will help. I got my trailer, guys. I will be moving into my trailer this week. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's my trailer, and it's got a beautiful yard with flowers in it, and it's got a huge front deck and back deck, and I'm so excited. I am so tickled. You think shit's gonna hit the fan pretty soon? You mean about the tow truck guy? Why they haven't said anything else? Now, when I was watching Nick, and he was saying last night, I guess it was last night with the interview room, and he was saying that you just know when something's not right. To me, he sounded like he really wanted to tell something that he couldn't tell. This is the weirdest case I've ever followed. No, not really, Cotton Candy. Come on. You've been with the sheriff for the past 15 months, honey. You can't tell me that case ain't weird. That's a pretty weird case. Rip a bikini, there's nothing to them. Usually double fabric, so hard to rip. Thank you, guys. I'm tickled pink that I've got my trailer. I really am. I will even have a space for a little room for me to set up my YouTube stuff, all my computers and everything, and I'm just tickled pink. He said there was a video somewhere. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I just, that guy, just the way he talked about it, and I don't know, he just, like, he knows what he's talking about, I guess. This case tops that one. I don't know. I can't say that it tops Summers for me, because at least they found Kiely, and at least they're working on what happened to her. You know what I mean? Not that anything is, it's never good when a child is harmed or hurt. But at least, they have some type of closure, and they have a direction to go in to find out what happened. With Summer, we're sitting just like we were the day after she got gone. And even with all the speculations and everything, it's still not going anywhere. At least you don't need the sage. Well, maybe you should use some anyways. Yeah, exactly. I'll take it anyways. Remain calm. But no, it's a beautiful trailer. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a brand new trailer or anything, and it does need cleaned up, and it needs, little tidbit of work here or there, but there's plenty of room for my puppy to go out and play in the yard, and not drug addicts hanging out in the front and all the bad stuff that comes along with that, like I have to deal with here. And guys, let me tell you what, I walked to the store last night. Now, I've got mixed feelings about this, and I know I'm getting off subject. I apologize. I'm sort of getting off subject. But I lost my cigarette case last night. I'd walked out talking to Tina and sat down next to the gas station. And when I came back in, I figured out that I'd lost my cigarettes. So I went back out to go buy me some more. And when I walked past, it was like almost everybody in this motel was out in the court. And they were all talking and sharing this picture, right? And I stopped and asked them what was going on. And they said that there is a registered RSO in the motel who had just rented a room yesterday. You got to remember, there's like 30 or 40 kids that live here. We're like 2 miles down the road from a school, an elementary school. And why? I mean, I don't know. Do they have to show something that they're a registered sex offender when they rent a motel room or something? I mean, I don't know how the management's going to handle it, but the parents are all really upset. But on top of that, y'all know how hard of a time I've been having trying to find anything to rent in this county. There is nothing to rent. So if this man gets thrown out on his ear, he's going to be sleeping in the streets. My chia pit. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I'm soft-hearted enough that I'll worry about somebody sleeping out on the street and not having no place to go. But then again, the safety of children comes first. And the bad part about it is he was evidently some kind of a teacher or something, because on his registry papers it says he's for battery. Hang on a second, let me read this correctly. Maybe you all can help me with the description it's giving. Okay, right here it is. Okay, it says sexual battery by an authority figure. So that means he was a teacher or something, correct? I've looked, I can't find any more on him. And don't knock the story if was years ago or falsely accused. Oh, I missed something here. I know sage is always good. But I mean, how is somebody supposed to feel about something like that? You know the man's going to be tossed out on his ear, but he's not going to have a place to lay his head. Authority figure is a wide range. Well, I assumed it had something to do with like teachers or a coach or something. Anyways, okay, getting back to the Sammy thing, guys. Do y'all think she's 18 or do you think she's 24 like we found out? Has anybody heard anything? Any of the new people that's come in, have y'all heard from a reliable, verifiable source that this girl is 18 years old? Anybody besides Tony Dodge? And while we're at it, I want everybody in here. If you have the tools, go start digging. Find out how many Sami Smiths are there. Now remember, Samantha Brooks Smith is 41 years old, born 1981. Mother, Cindy Smith. Father, James Smith, who own the Sierra Tahoe Investigation. But she was born in 1981. But then it also claims that Samantha and Michael Smith, who were both born June 1998, parents Cindy and James Smith, who own Sierra Tahoe Investigations. Could that be Samantha Brooks' children? Could she have had a set of twins and let her parents take them? And if Sami Smith is 24 years old, you think she's going to get charged with contributing? Seeing how everybody seems to think if she's only 18, she can't be charged because she's not allowed to buy it herself. Sammy is adopted. Do we know this for a fact? You thought she just got accepted into college? Well, you can go to college at any point in time in your life. Remain calm. I mean, you can go back to college right now if you want to. I mean, right? I'm just saying, guys, that something's not sitting right with this whole thing, with this whole town. Somebody told me the other day it was like the Stepford Wives. I'm starting to say, yeah. That's not true. I got contributing to minors before I was of age. Thank you. I mean, I know that you can. But and I even did a thing that I looked up the California. It says that if you get charged with contributing to a delinquency, you get so much fines, and then you have to do like 24 hours community service or something stupid. But if there is harm or death resulting from the contributing, then you will get anywhere from 6 months to 1 year in jail and have to pay $1,000 fine. And that's what you get in California for contributing. Why did you back off the case? Did somebody threaten you? Lord, I hope not. There's enough of that been going around lately. But do you know, Victoria, if for a fact she was adopted? You thought you had to be 21 to drink? Well, you have to be 21 to buy alcoholic beverages. You don't have to be 21 to drink. Anybody can drink if they can get away with it. Too much craziness. Oh, no, you don't know. Okay. I'm just saying that it's just a little weird to me that there's two Sami Smiths living on the same street, given the same people as their parents, and they're 20 years difference, age difference. Another question. Does anyone know if Kiely's necklaces were ever found? Someone said that Sammy had on Kiely's bracelets. Somebody from Australia, I believe it was, is what Plunder said. And of course, Plunder got mad about it because, she don't like people making accusations that can't be proven. But I watched that clip, and if you're say if somebody had one of Summer's toys or an outfit that Summer had on, granted, I know there's thousands of outfits that are exactly the same, but I'm just trying to give an example because of how close I pay to Summer Wells, the Summer Wells story. If another kid had one of her outfits on, I could point it out. So depending on how close this person paid attention to what Kiely was wearing, like her bracelets, her earrings, that kind of thing, I believe she could have said, oh, hey, that was one of her bracelets, or at least it was one just like her bracelet. Nana, I have the coolest boss. She let me put you on the TV. Oh, you're kidding. Where do you work? Alleged Kiely's stepdad has a criminal background, so here we go. Well, let me tell you something else. I don't know it. I couldn't understand what it was saying. I could pull it up and read it for you guys. But the James Smith he's on a watch list. A couple of them. Now I don't know what they mean. I can read it to you. Hang on a second. I don't know what kind of watch list this is, but hang on one second. Let me get to it. Okay. Neighbors. No, we ain't wanting neighbors. Watch list. System for award management exclusion. And that one's in Florida. Type was individual, wanted by HHS. Program prohibition restrictions. Reciprocal, I guess. And then it's got the original ID. Offense is a Z1, country, USA. Then we have another one that says Crime Stoppers UK. Crime location, it don't give. Sussex, wanted by Sussex. Ineligible proceedings completed. Reciprocal. Common assault remarks is wanted for interview following an assault. Subject is wanted for interview following domestic assault. And he's white and European, guys. And then prohibition restriction again. Same thing. And there's lots of aliases for him too, also. Lots of aliases. Hello, Miss Robin. I don't see you. Hello, Kay. Oh, there's Miss Robin. Hello. Yes, Nevada County answers the P town have terrible track records on red rums. Hey, I was watching something the other day, guys. I can post the link for you in my community tab, but somebody sent it to me where it's an old report that was done on Nevada County, California, where it proves, I mean, there's been public defenders and stuff literally quit their jobs because they're trying to get this out in the open. They proved it, where they're taking poor people and throwing them in jail without even a court, without going to court or anything. That whoever will walk in and say, okay, look, you're facing 16 years. You either sign this, plea deal and you go to jail for however many years, or you go into that court and you're going to guaranteed to get 16 years. And either way, I mean, they're screwed either way. But Nevada County is evidently really bad for making people just disappear into prisons, and they never see the inside of a courtroom. That's okay, Kuma. Does Truckee remind anyone of the movie Midsummer? I don't know, honey. I've never heard of that. He always acts strange when they show him. He may be shy or he may be high. Take your pick. Who are we talking about, Queen? Yes, indeed, you emailed me that information. Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah. Okay, you did email me that, right? See, I do talk about stuff. I do read my emails, guys. I pay attention to what you guys send me. I just don't always get to use it in a video or something because my mind's like one tracked and I get on something but I do read your emails and I do listen to you guys. I work for a nursing agency, but I come into her home 2 times a day, 2 shifts, mom, and not been here almost 11 years. Oh, okay. Wow. Well, that's great. I'm glad she's letting you watch it. Hello, Spirit Wolf. Nevada County and Placer County, the whole area is corrupt. There's a video on YouTube called Everyone Counts that will show you how they deal with suspicious deaths. They don't. I watched that. Yeah, I watched him too. And he was talking about it. And I, in fact, give him, I think that's who you're talking about. Anyways, I gave him the link for that video I was just talking about. Right, you're the same person, just different names. Yeah. Oh, guys, yeah, that would help too. When y'all email me, if you can just tell me what your YouTube name is, that would help tremendously. Which, I mean, if it was just like 10 people or something, keeping the, like Mary and Remain Calm, I know that's, the same person. Kathy with Flies on the Wall. But when it's hundreds of people, it's sort of hard to remember everybody's YouTube name and connect it to the email. So if you wouldn't mind, put your YouTube name on the email also, please. This case makes me think that Skylar Neese case, that one is so sad and eye-opening, except this case is different in the crime of death. Right. Sorry about that, hon. But it helps me keep straight, who's sent what. That's like Discovering the Truth sent me something, and then I got a message under another name and said, here's, whatever. And when I called, I'm like, I feel embarrassed by saying this, but is this who you are? She's like, yes, that's me. about Kylie's stepdad. Um, well, technically, it's not her stepdad because I don't think they're married. But yeah, I get what you're saying. And yeah, here we go again. I agree. Well, I mean, that James Smith, her dad, well, whoever he is to her, um, I don't see how they can hold license for like investigations and stuff if if they're looking at him from the UK and Florida and all those other places. But then again, we have some really weird stuff going on lately. Hello, Julie. Is Lucia in here? Hello, Lucia. Tabitha say, Robin, I don't know if you've seen the video that another YouTuber creator made, but the whole town seems cultish. Look up corruption in Truckee Placer. It's mind blowing. Excuse me. Are you talking about the one where they showed the dining room table and stuff and the kids with the 50s on the back of their shirts and stuff? And then they read the intro that they have for the lodge backwards. That's a little creepy, if you ask me. So Kylie's mom isn't married. No, not as far as I know. From what I understand, Neiman is her maiden name. And I may have this wrong. This is alleged, guys, okay? But I have heard that Neiman is her maiden name and that they are, as of in, Neiman Marcus, that family. But no, as far as I know, she's not married. That gentleman, they've just been together for however long. I mean, they may be married, but from my understanding, they're not. Right. That table and that video, yeah, that was a little bit creepy. And if you think about it, the way he's putting it out there, it would be a little weird. Now, what he was saying about the kids having 50s on the back of their shirt, they also had an older couple standing in front of them, and it was like a picture that was set up because the couple was having their 50th anniversary, and that was probably their great grandkids or something. Hello, Zero. Glad you're here, sweetheart. You are correct about Lindsay. I'm from the area. Okay. So it is Neiman Marcus thing, and she's not married, right? Tony's house. Well, hello, Tony's house. Everybody that's new, and I haven't said this to, this is your channel too. You have a right to jump up here on panel as long as everything has to be respectful. You can't be rude, crude, or disrespectful to anybody on panel or in chat. And otherwise, you're more than welcome here anytime. If it weren't for you guys, I would not have a channel. And it is here so that everybody has a platform to say what they think, their thoughts, their opinions, their theories. But keep in mind, I will not deal with crude and rude. Okay? And a lot of people's been throwing anger at me saying that, oh, I'm supposed to be an open channel for everybody's opinion. Yes, I am. But I'm not going to allow people to get on here and just literally just talk smut. I'm not. Even if that's their opinion, they can find another way to say it. I hope Kylie's dad and grandpa fight super hard for justice. I hope so too. Well, you got to remember there's also there's a female that's in that family We're doing good, Tony. There's a female in that family that is secretly fighting to get something done. I don't know how many of you watch Plunder, but she had it out. She's been in contact with this person, and they don't want their name or their identity out there because they don't want Kiely's mom knowing that that's who it is. But they think something is fishy, and they are fighting. They are fighting to get something looked into. I just popped up on your homepage and I like your channels, so I definitely subscribe. Well, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you guys are here. I really am. So I found a Sam Smith on varsity girls tennis team 2018. She was a freshman. So 2018, 19, 20, 21. Well, if she was, you can, no, I don't guess you could be a freshman at 15. Can anybody do some fast calculating? If you're 15, could you be in 2018? Could you be 24 now? Is that a possibility? Yes, Kylie's mom is a dang passive. There's a lot of smut with these kids. I agree. Auntie M slinging names is a bridge too far for me. Lindsay's name is out there. We'll stick with that. Huh? I'm missing something. Oh, Lindsay's dad's Robertson. No, I don't know. Probably. But you have to wonder why she stuck the name Neiman on the end of it there. And maybe she is married to that guy, but I don't think his name is Neiman. That is so good to hear. Yes, pray for justice. I'm afraid that one of the secret clues is that Kiely was not dressed. See, that was my first thought when Nick popped up out of that water and said it looked suspicious. Call the authorities. If you guys will go back and listen to my lives and stuff, I've said that from the get go. More than likely, she was took advantage of by one or multiple, and I think that was him saying. I said either she didn't have no bottoms on or she didn't have nothing on at all. And that's why he said what he said when he came up out of the water that night or that day. Kiely was homeschooling until 8th grade and she graduated 1 year early than everyone else too. Right? That would make her 22 now. I feel like if Kiely is dressed is an easy yes answer for AWP. If they can't say, it's telling me. See, I'm always that way. If you ask a cop a specific question and they know the answer and it's not going to hurt anybody, they'll tell you. If you ask a cop a question and it's going to hurt the case or hurt somebody, they're going to say, I can't say. So anytime they're telling you, I can't say, that means it's exactly what you think, or at least close to it. You're reporting this channel for what? Exactly what are you reporting this channel for? AWP said they couldn't answer the question. Do I have a mod in here? Thank you, Kay. I don't know if, yeah, I can block her. Okay. I just don't know what I've been doing. What did I do wrong this time? If she was a freshman in college, I thought you were talking about a freshman in high school. Oh, if she's a freshman in college in 2018, she's definitely 24 by now. And she could be a freshman in college at 17 or 18. And that could possibly make her 24 now. Sorry if Karen was somebody's friend or Karen was joking around. At this moment in time, I don't have any mods in here, so I have to take precautions. Son of a gun, I blocked her. How did... Discovering, are you still in here? Dana, you're a mod, are you not? Okay, thank you. Sorry, guys, it don't show up who's blue and who's not on my laptop for some reason. Does anyone know when she was actually born? Because it does seem as if she was older than the other. That's what I was saying, that she looks older than those other kids. And it says on both the places that me and Discovering looked, it says she was born June 1998. Her and Michael Tanner Smith both were born June 1998, and that their mom and dad are Cindy and James. Is that what it is? There's hardly anybody on YouTube tonight, so she picked my channel. Like she's at least had a year already in college, right? I mean, even if you just look at her and Meg's together, she, to me, in my opinion, looks a little bit older than Meg's. I mean, by a few years at least. Mom said Kiely wouldn't drive drunk, and she needs to have been comp every wasted to go into the lake. I'm thinking the druggies gave her something. Is that an accident? No, it's not an accident. Completely wasted. Okay, I get you. I sort of figured that's what it meant. So I'm just wondering why they haven't done any. Is this another summer case where the cops just sit back and say, "Oh, here, we'll just let it die down and go away"? And And I'm still cannot get over the fact that nobody, not a parent, not a cop, not a reporter, not nobody, didn't get up there and grab that microphone out of that girl's hand and tell her to go sit down somewhere. Why did that not happen? Somebody, please tell me. Hello from Oklahoma, Shorty Small. Well, hello. Welcome. I'm sorry. Mom should have even said that. That statement alone is telling. She allowed Kiely to underage drink. Exactly. Wisconsin mama, she is shady as shit. Like, seriously, why did they get her attorney? Sammy's style of dress at the vigil made me want to throw up. A kid at the party called a YouTuber and said Kiely was laughing out with the was hanging out with the druggies. Some of what you say sounds on the right track, but most of what you're saying is just creating more rabbit holes. Step away, not doing any justice for anyone. Well, Robert, how about you step away? I have a right to my opinion. And I have a right to ask questions. And there should be logical answers to these questions. They're not hard. And so what if it's causing more rabbit holes? Maybe somebody will jump down and get some answers. Shouldn't have said it, but mama's connected. I don't care what nobody says, connected with the moms of these kids. And I think two parties, one big one and the small one at Boca, allegedly. Robert, you're entitled to your opinion, but not to tell people to step away. Exactly. Thank you. I don't think she's in any rabbit hole. Thank you, Tabitha. I appreciate that. Sorry, not sorry, Robert. This whole case, a complete hot mess because of the Truckee community. Exactly. The white dress at the graduation of Jagger. To me, Samantha looked like she had a alleged baby bump in the photo. I heard that too. I wonder because Kiely was so smart, her mom maybe thought she was mature enough to go to these parties. Yeah, well, I don't know if she was cremated, sweetheart. I don't know. Exactly. Thank you, Cheryl. It is my First Amendment right to say what I want. For a little while longer, anyways, huh? Hello, Barbara Eddie. Exactly right. Even grown people can't make it mature decisions when intoxicated. I agree. I'd like to keep public attention on the case. I think if a kid caused this or tried to hide it, they need to face the consequences. That's right. And just like I believe it was Holocene the other day commented on my video, And I can't tell you word for word because Holocene is like his Sally My Jack. They write me books when they leave comments, which I'm not complaining. I love them both. But like she said, this mom is going to sit back and say, leave them alone. Let's not worry about it. Let's just sit back and let Kiely rest, and we won't cause no trouble and we won't stir the water. But if you do that and you don't hold accountable the person that caused this to happen to your child, whose child is it going to be next? Who's the next victim out there? If you don't do something and put a stop to whatever it was that caused this to happen to your child, Lindsay, who's going to be the next victim? You can't just sit back and twiddle your thumbs and wish and pray that it all goes away, even as bad as it is. Because if that's what you do, and then this happens to another child, then how are you going to feel? There were some pretty mature adults at that party. I am sure that's why they are keeping everything quiet, because nobody wants to be charged with serving alcohol to minors. I don't care if she was a genius at 16. There's no need for a child to be at a party like that, but that's my opinion. No, that's pretty much everybody's opinion, including the law, because I do believe it's against the law for minors to be at a party such as that. Actually, I don't know why everybody's not going to jail anyways, because if I remember correctly, it's illegal to be drinking and partying in a state park. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the edge of a state park? She should want justice for her child, regardless who it is. It wouldn't matter who it was. I would want justice for my child, regardless who did it. Exactly. They allowed the teen kid that hurt that one girl, Tristan Bailey's offender, face life for what he did. Nana, did you see the Lost Trail Lodge? IG said Kiely was last seen at 1:30. No, I didn't see that. If y'all haven't guessed, I've been trying to sort of, stay away from YouTube as much as I possibly can right now until all that bullcrap dies down. I mean, I am who I am, and I have morals, and I stand up for the people I consider my friends. And I guess I'm just getting ridiculed for that. But that's fine too. But we'll just keep on going. Even happened to another child, don't even think she would care. Look how she is, in my opinion. Look how she's acting, and that's her child. To me, I don't know. It's just weird and fishy, in my opinion. Honey, I agree with you 100%. I did a video the other day about how fishy I think it is. I mean, at first, when she first came out with that celebration of life and with that speech, I was like, okay, well, if we're not wanted, then we need to just leave it alone. If she wants to just let it go. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, wait a minute. Something's not right about the way this woman is talking. And that's when I did that video, and that's when Holocene came out and said what she said, and it like struck a nerve, and it was like, yeah, what is she going to sit back and twiddle her thumbs and let this happen to another kid? Sammy at the memorial with the white dress not only was laughing like a lot, but look at her. She looks like she's 36 years old at least. I made a similar mistake when I sent my 17-year-old across the country for his junior year in college. Being a genius doesn't make a kid mature. but he survived. Well, thank God he survived. I've always felt that's what they hiding. They were supposed to be in Boca in the end, but Mom said she did say yes to the party. Well, you know what? I'm still wondering this too. Hello, Michelle Davis. I'm still wondering this. If Grandpa separated from Kiely at 12:30 noon on Friday, and then she got with Kate. First of all, what time did she get with Kate? They hung out, cooked their cream brulee or whatever it was, if it was truly cooking it or just gathering it for the party. Which I've had people say that I'm wrong on that part, but I think that's a possibility. When did she switch from Kate to Mags? Now remember, she was supposed to have been going to the car show with her mom. What time did the car show start? I believe it started at like 6 or 7. I put it out on a video. I went and found the flyer for the car show. And so she was with Mags when she called her mom and told her mom she was going to the party instead of the car show. But then she was seen in the store on the video cam at what, 6? So where was her and Mags until 9, 10 o'clock when they went to the party? And then supposedly she was texting Jagger before she went to the party, and the last text that he got from her was at 10:30. What time did she get to the party? And how drunk could she have been? Everybody was saying that she was so drunk. If she didn't get there until 9 or 10 o'clock, that was 2 hours. How drunk could she have gotten in 2 hours? Mom either scared or with the foul play, it can only be one or two. But I've always said Mom pleaded for Kiely to come home, not someone to bring her back. It was like a plea for a runaway. When as she did plead for whoever that knew something to come forward and tell. That's why I said I think that she knew something was up. Mom went to bed even though Kiely wasn't home. Either Kiely was a trustworthy angel or Mom didn't care enough to worry. I'm praying that her daddy and grandpa stand up and demand justice for her. They know something isn't right. I hope they do, and I hope they demand justice and tell her mom to go take a flying leap. Ronnie's so-called cousin said they saw her at 8 drunk. Well, the funny thing about that is everything that I've been gathering, the party, including the invitations that were sent out, the party didn't even start till 9. So how did his cousin see her drunk at 8? Baby girl, yes, that's possible. And Kiely's last call to Sammy was probably begging her for a ride. No, that last call was probably begging her, why did you do this to me? Why'd you let this happen? Why aren't you sticking around to help me? Hi from Ireland. Love what you are doing to find the truth for this poor girl. Her mom doesn't seem to care. Thank you, Carolyn. What part of Ireland are you from, sweetheart? If you don't mind me asking. I don't believe anything Ronnie says either, but I'm just saying. They are at Boca. I'm telling y'all, she was most likely spiked, then taken to Prosser to be seen alive at least for a minute. Then the spiked liquor kicked in more at Prosser for alibis. Dungal, I think is how that's pronounced, right? Dungal. I wish I knew more about Ireland. I'm a second generation born in America, so not all of my ancestries, but the ones on my father's side are from Ireland. My father's last name was Rehill. This is allegedly, I be thinking off the wall. That's why I don't like any kids go where I'm like my kids go nowhere. I'm horrible. No, you're not horrible. You're not. I'm thinking fentanyl, but no one called 911. They just disposed of the problem. I'm thinking they were taking her advantage of her and she started screaming, and that's what everybody was looking at in that photograph. And to shut her up, they grabbed that seat belt from the top of the roof and wrapped it around her throat, and it went too far, and they got scared, and they done away with the car with her in the back and just left hanging there. In my opinion. Who was she going camping with the next morning? And why hadn't they spoke up yet? She was going with Mags. And you know why that girl ain't really speaking out without Sammy beside her. Because that girl wouldn't be able to keep a story straight. You can tell that. She only feels empowered when she's got Sammy standing there with her. Is it just me, or does anyone else feel like whomever convinced her to go to this party allegedly set her up because she didn't want to go? Yes, ma'am, I do believe that. And that was Meg's. I truly believe that mother is fishy. She's never gotten that upset over losing such a precious girl. She acts like she's attached to Sammy's hip. I agree. I'm just not a very trustworthy person, and I would just be all over everybody and anybody. I would be going crazy wanting to know who hurt my child. I agree with that, baby girl. You live in County Kerry, the kingdom, a jewel in the crown of Ireland. Oh, wow. You Ireland people are going to have to send me some pictures from over there. I would love to have some. That's the one place I've always wanted to go and visit is Ireland. But I'm too scared to fly, so I'll never get to go. How does anyone know how upset the mom was? And if the mom is attached to the hip with Sammy, isn't that more proof of her innocence? Of whose innocence? The mom's? And how does anyone know how upset the mom was? Well, do you have children? Um, Granted, everybody grieves in their own way, but I still can't sit and talk to someone about my own mother. let alone a child, my mother, without breaking down and squalling. And my mother died in 1993. I couldn't imagine 22 days after finding my child is never coming home, being able to laugh and smile and give a speech on the news. So that's my proof. Granted, it's just my opinion, but Kiely was the prettiest, smartest, and very talented. I'm guessing there was jealousy and bullying, more than likely. I would want everyone possible looking and trying to figure out what happened exactly. Just my opinion, but I get a more than friendship vibe from Sammy towards Kiely. You think? Could you please read my comment up just a little? Yeah, sorry, hun. I hope that cargo belt wasn't looped through the belt or belt loop. She wouldn't have been able to escape in a panic, right? And that's what I was thinking too. That's why they were asking. And if it really was Kiely in the car, which everybody's asking, why have they not made any arrest if the video on that guy's van or truck or whatever it was real? I've discussed this with people before. If it wasn't Kiely and there was another female in there, then I would say, yeah, okay, they should have made arrests. But what if it was Kiely in the car and at noon on Saturday she was still alive? Then they're looking to find out what happened to her after that. Maybe that's why they haven't arrested anybody, is because now they're looking from noon on Saturday till whenever to try to find out what happened to her and who did it. And maybe that's why they haven't made any arrests or talked about the video off the truck. It makes you smile. It makes you think of Wizard of Oz, don't it? Zero. My oldest daughter decided to have a party one night while we were gone for the night. It didn't end well for her. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope nothing really bad happened, honey. Girl Code 101, never leave your friend behind ever. Exactly. That's the whole purpose of going somewhere with your friend. It's not just to catch her. And tell me, explain. This is another thing I've got. I'm sorry, guys. I've got a lot of questions and not getting a lot of answers for things, okay? Why, if they were in town, that's another thing I want. That's why I want to know where Megs and Kiely were at before the party. Because if they were in town, and this was like 30 minutes away from town or 30 minutes away from Kiely's house, which it was 30 minutes away from Kiely's house. But if it was 30 minutes away from town or more, why would Megs talk Kiely into going to the party instead of going to the car show with her mom, just so she could catch a ride to the party, so her boyfriend could come from town to the party to pick her up and then leave? Why didn't she just have Kiely meet Mags's boyfriend in town? Why didn't she just get with him in town? Why did they have to drive all the way to the party for her to get in another car and leave again? And it would have been one thing if the guy was already at the party and she rode with Kiely and then got with him. But no, remember, it took 10 minutes for her to call him and for him to get there to pick her up. So if he was already in town, why didn't they just meet up in town? Why did Kiely have to go to that party? I don't get that. There's a fire raging through the area, and they found a dead couple at the bottom of the nearby drop off. Busy, I guess. They have to get said evidence against them. If they prosecute without proper evidence, it'll fall under double jeopardy down the road. Right, but then again, I, Cheryl M., I think you've been around for a while and you know how agitated we are about hearing that. I don't know if you followed the Summer Wells case. A lot of us, me, are so sick of hearing, well, they've got to gather evidence so it doesn't fall apart. Well, gathering evidence ain't got nothing to do with dragging somebody in and questioning them or interrogating them, should I say. Why haven't they bothered doing any of that? That's not going to ruin the case. Yes, I know we need a thorough investigation, and I'm not trying to say yins are wrong. I'm just, we're all agitated. And this might even had a whole different thing if we hadn't been dealing 14 months with Summer's case just to bounce over to this one, for it to be almost as aggravating, and for the law enforcement to be as incompetent as Hawkins County is. Mags doesn't look the type, but drug dealers go from party to party to sell their drugs, right? Well, you got to remember too, though, they keep saying that Mags left 10 minutes in, but if she left 10 minutes in, she was also on that interview with Sammy, talking about all the older people that were there, and obviously we weren't talking about marijuana, but she was talking about all the different drugs that was at that party that wasn't normally at their other parties that they have. If she left 10 minutes into it after somebody tried to get her to smoke, how would she know what kind of drugs was at the party and that they weren't the normal kind that they have at their parties? I don't think Mags left 10 minutes in. I truly do not think she left that party. And if you ask me, that might right there might be Sammy's ride out. Nobody still hasn't figured out who Sammy rode away with, who left the party with her. Megs is more than likely, and her boyfriend. I still say Megs is right in there on with Sammy in whatever happened. My opinion, allegedly, guys. But I'm telling you, they partied pretty good that night. We walked in on several people passed out on the sectional. My daughter was in her room, but the cousin and her boyfriend were in my bed. Oh, yeah, I'd say it probably didn't end too well for your daughter. Not at all. Don't get you started on Precious Baby Summer. All them crooked people, and I do believe you not reaching going to into Carly. You don't think I'm reaching going into the Carly Trent grandmother? It's a connection with that. Yes, it is. Thank you, babe girl. I appreciate you saying that. I was talking with I think it was Discovering today. We were discussing that. The there it's just too There's just too many discrepancies in that case. And then I feel, y'all may think I'm horrible, okay? But first of all, I don't think Gary Simpson did anything to that girl. I do not. 100%. And then really, really what makes me feel even worse is that he sat in jail all that time, didn't get sentenced until June 18th, 2021. 3 days. 3 days after Summer got gone, he was finally hauled into court and sentenced. And then the following April, the man passed away. Sorry, something's not right. And you don't take, and when they arrested him, they took that girl straight to the hospital. She was deemed fine, shook up, but that was it. And they went through that van with a fine-tooth comb when they arrested him. And he was never once let out of jail after he was put in jail. But they waited until, and they didn't find anything. But now the following April, 2017, they went through his van again for some strange, odd reason and found a small piece of paper with things wrote on it. And then went to him in private and said, "Did you do any of these? Is this yours?" And he supposedly admitted that he done a couple of those things to that girl. And that's why he was sentenced to 25 years for essaying that child. They did not find physical evidence. And on top of that, the DA's office and law enforcement, not the family, not friends, but the district attorney's office and law enforcement was put under a gag order by the judge to never speak of the evidence. They were never allowed to talk about the evidence that they had to put that man away. Y'all find that a little strange? They're going to gag the district attorney's office so that they're never allowed to speak of it? Come on. That man was set up. Y'all, old Sheriff Ronnie knows a lot of people, but I just want to say that don't mean to go into baby Summer praying for her always. Honey, I pray for Summer all the time. And I just think if we can prove that there is corruption in that town, maybe by chance we can get that so-called sheriff out of that office and more so locked up where he needs to be. The sooner a lot of kids and people, adults, would be safer in that town. That's my opinion. I mean, just like Lip Lock talked about on that one video she did. They arrested a man, put handcuffs on him, put him in the back of a cruiser, and before they could get him to the jail and get him out of the back of the cruiser, well, they got there all right. When they opened the door up, oops, he just got gone. How does a handcuffed man get out of the back of a cruiser on the road, going down the road? He just got gone. Funny was, right about the time that Summer went missing, the remains of that man that just got gone out of the back of the cruiser showed up in the Beach Creek area. It was like 1 year after he got gone. I don't think Mag's left either. Sorry, I got off topic, guys. Well, thank you, Miss R. Oh, you don't wish you had my accent, honey. She was grounded for 2 weeks. Good night, Dana Kay. Are you leaving? You're going to bed, sweetheart? Yeah, that's lip lock. Is where I got that story from. And then I was looking it up myself. I started looking it up. As a matter of fact, I was looking that up when it really struck me about the Carly Trent case. And I still say somebody needs to go out there and look if they can actually ever figure out where they found Carly, whether it was walking in the woods with a teddy bear by herself, or if it was in the van with Gary Simpson camping out, or if it was in the shed. They still haven't made up their mind about all that. But wherever it was that Carly was being held, almost positive somebody needs to go and check that for something. Where's the one place that nobody would think to look for a missing child? The very place that the last one was at. Especially if that place was on Lawson property. Allegedly, in my opinion. I got to get all that out there. All right, Barbara, Eddie, you have a great night. And guys, we're like 10 minutes away from 2 hours, so heard the grandmothers were good friends. Well, from what I had understood, Clyda was Carly's grandmother. I've been informed here lately that Mary Louise or something like that was her grandmother, but that Clyda is an aunt or great aunt, something like that. I know she's part of the family. And yes, she was best friends with Karen Code. Yeah, baby girl, exactly. I'm hoping somebody catch on. I've been saying it and saying it and saying it, and nobody seems to understand what I'm saying. Or if they do, there's only a handful that understand what I'm saying. And I don't want to come out and just make allegations, if you know what I mean. But I believe there was other people responsible for Carly Trent's disappearance besides Gary. And I think that's why Gary was put away, so that he could never talk. And I also think that after Summer went missing, that might have been why he may have passed away so quickly. Is to make sure he couldn't ever talk. Because if he ever talked about Carly, then somebody might figure something out about Summer. I'm with you. That's why I don't think you off. These people are connected down from forefathers up till now. Exactly. Yeah, it's been 2 hours, Sweet Pea. You got to rewatch because I missed most of it getting my son ready for bed. Well, I hope you had a easy time of it. I know how hard it can be getting kids off to bed. Well, if I can click on the right one. I have enjoyed your chat room. Thank you for making me feel welcome. Love you, sister. Well, I love you too, Shorty Small. And please come back, sweetheart. I enjoy all of my visitors and all of my subscribers and all my viewers. I like sitting down and just having a chat. And I welcome everybody's opinions, whether most people believe that or not. I just don't like the rude and crude stuff. Don't say it, but you saying it. Yes, ma'am. Too many things were unexplainable for how she was found, right? Like 4 different roads were reported that she was found on. Well, you have a good night, baby girl. Oh, and I'll see you guys. I'm assuming before everybody leaves, I'm assuming that I will be going live Thursday or not Thursday, Wednesday night about the marriage certificate. And I know everybody thinks I'm having a fit about whether Dawn and Candace are married. I don't care whether Dawn and Candace are married. There are some wanky stuff going on with that certificate that's out there. That's what I'm trying to find out about, is that certificate and why it says what it says. And the fact that I live in the state of Tennessee and I know something's not right there. And that's what I'm looking into. I agree, Kuma. He sure does. Good night, Auntie M. Oh, well, thank you, Mrs. R. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And welcome to the family. Make yourself at home. And anytime you're in here and you have something you want to say, all you got to do is holler, drop the link, Nana. And of course, show your face so that we know we're not getting bombed with something awful. You have a good night, Auntie M. You know what? I think I'm going to start something new, and I'm going to start it now. And y'all help me remember to do it every time we're on here, okay? I really enjoy being here too, Nana. It's my jam, Nana's Angels. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I want at least 2 people, if not more. I would like for everybody to do it. Put one thing, just one, that you're thankful for. And it can be the fact that you had fried chicken for dinner. Or it could be the fact that you got to see your mom that you hadn't seen in 5 years. Or that you got to kiss your dad on the forehead before he passed. Just put one thing in the chat that you're thankful for. We need to start ending these lives with something good instead of always thinking the worst. Hey, Lisa Renee, I'm so glad to see you here, sweetheart. I mean, if y'all don't feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. But I can tell you right now, in my opinion, I'm thankful just the fact that I get the opportunity to sit here and talk to you guys. Ms. R says thankful. Discovering says, my son, even though he drives me nuts, LOL, I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful. This is Nana Barb. I'm thankful for my wonderful family that God has given me. Amen. Thankful, Teresa Marino. Is it Marino? Thankful to take my grandkids and on an overnight trip in my new RV. Oh, that's awesome. Zero says, I'm thankful for the gift of faith. Oh, that is awesome right there, Zero. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Thank you guys for participating. I really want to start making this something. Thank you. That is how you pronounce it, huh? Thankful. Lisa Renee says, thankful for all the many, many blessings that I do not deserve. Kimberly Gallard, can you bring light to Olivia Fowler? Been missing for a year in Georgia. Kimberly Fowler, or Olivia Fowler, sorry. Hang on, let me type it in here. Olivia Fowler. I will try to get a video out in the morning, at least a short one, hon, okay? Well, you're welcome, Lisa Renee. Shorty Small says, I'm thankful my girls are grown or grow. Yeah, and I am blessed with 3 grandchildren. Yeah, having your kids all grown, that's something to be thankful for, that's for sure. Having the grandkids, that's a miracle. My grandbabies, they're my angels. Hence my name, known as Angels, my 7 angels. Nana, I'm so thankful that I know where each one of my children and grandchildren are every day and every night. That is also something very thankful to be thankful for. Judy says, I'm thankful I'm alive. Yes, everybody hates getting old, but you know what? It still beats the alternative. Because if you're not getting older, that means you ain't living. It's connected to Nicole Jones, the pink car. Remember, thank you, sweetie. I'm crying with tears of joy. Finally, someone will help me. Well, of course, I'll help you, sweetheart. I don't care to do whatever I can do to help. Melody Murphy, before I forget, I'm thankful I listened to this page. It's very friendly, and I'm very thankful for the air God gives us to breathe. Amen. Amen. 100%. You know, the thing about it is that we forget to thank the good Lord above. We're always asking and asking and asking, and we forget to just stop and say thank you just for no reason. Sometimes, not everybody, but most of the time, we forget to do that. Just like with your parents, if your parents are still alive, you should just stop and say thank you for just no reason whatsoever. Or just sit down and have 5 minutes and just talk to them. And if any of our children are listening, we greatly appreciate our children taking 5 minutes out of their busy day just to speak to us with a kind word. And don't forget to be thankful that our children are safe and sound. Thank you, Zero. Thank you all very much. I'm so very blessed to have the subscribers and the viewers that I have. I really, truly am. And I believe that with all my heart. It's not lip service, guys. If it were not for you guys, each and every one, my channel would not exist. Our channel would not exist. So, and I try not to take credit where, I'm not due all the credit. So, but I'm going to call it a night, guys. And I think I'm going to lay down here and try to watch a movie, catch a movie. I like the sappy ones, the religious Christian ones. Well, I'm glad you like that. Before I go, I will tell you that what it was when my kids started leaving the nest, and God knew I wasn't ready to turn loose of my kids because they were my world. My mother who gave birth to me and my children who I gave birth to. That was my world first and foremost before anybody else except the good Lord above. And then my mother passed away, so my children were all I had left, even though I had family. So I wasn't ready to turn loose of my kids, and the good Lord knew that. And so he gave me my first angel so that I didn't have to. Right about the time that my youngest son was leaving home, that's when I got my first angel. And that is her nickname. And then I have Princess, Little Man, Little Miss, Double Bubble Bubba Boy, my Cherub, and then my Sunshine. And those are my angels. Although 6 of them are teenagers now, and you know how teenagers are. And it just really gets on my nerves. I love them each and every one, but I don't like teenagers. Olivia Fowler, missing from Sydney, Kersey, Natalie Jones, Lauren Henderson. All three were red rummed. Harris County, Heard County, Meriwether, Colorado. Was that in Colorado, hun? Have I ever watched the new version? No, I've not watched the newer one. I would like to see it. Oh, thank you, Melanie. I appreciate that. Yes, please. As we're going out, please everybody hit the thumbs up because our channel is growing. We have 4,206 subscribers, but we always need more thumbs up, guys. Georgia. Okay, from Georgia. Okay. Let me go back up here and grab this real quick. I don't know how to. How can I copy it, guys? Oh, wait a minute. Blah, 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 blah. Huh. Save as. Maybe I can save that. All right. Well, we'll try it anyways. But I've still got the other wrote down. All right, guys. We're going to jump off here. I love you all. Thank you all for coming. And hopefully with everybody, or at least part of everybody, digging into this, we can find out if there are two different Samantha Smiths. And if, Samantha is 24, 18, we've got to dig into this and find out, because obviously, just like with Hawkins County, Ellie is not telling anybody anything, and it doesn't seem like they're too eager to jump in and try to find out anything either. Good night, guys. I love you all. All right. Love your kids, call your parents, feed your pets, and thank the good Lord above for what we all have. Good night, guys.